Single women really keep other women single. You don't understand men, and what information you do have, you just pass along this garbage.
If a man calls you for help, he has no intention of being with you, okay? Because for the woman that they want to be with, they would never want to seem incapable.
No, it just means he trusts you. That's it. That's it. He legitimately just trusts you, and he's realized that he can come to you with what's actually ailing him, what's really bothering him. It's a sign of trust when you can come to someone that you'd actually, hey, I need help with this. We don't do it often because look how it's often misconstrued. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no episodes. Listen, hype the video, do all the YouTube things right now. It is what it is. But we're just trying to, feed the algorithm, and we're going to do that by more lives, more videos. We just make changes and we adapt. But when we come across videos like this, right? And this is, I think it's an important thing to, hit that stop, check it and say, no, you don't understand men. You really don't understand men. If you would go and take this sort of idea and you push it forward and you push it out to other younger women and say, yeah, if you ever see a man that comes to you and says, hey, I'm struggling with something, you take that as somehow he doesn't need you, doesn't like you. And I get it. There's confusion between the sexes. So sometimes when we hear something concrete, right? Concrete advice that says, if this, then that, right? If P, then Q, modus tollens. We want to latch onto that because it gives us some form of understanding, some place to build our castle on. If this is a fundamental truth, I can probably now have a better chance at understanding men, understanding women. But that's wrong, right? When you build it on something that just is wrong because it's based on your own personal experiences, where things tend to go wrong. You look at men and say, if he's asking for help, then there's something wrong. Then he doesn't feel you. He doesn't want to be with you. No, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. You've entered that circle of trust where he knows, or he believes that if I come and talk to you about something, that it's not going to blow up in my face. By blow up in my face, meaning the very next time we're in a heated discussion, you're not going to turn around and just throw it back in my face when I was vulnerable with you. When you hear so much of women saying that this is what they want from men, and I get it, right? We as men, we've learned to listen to what women respond to, not so much of what they say. And this creates this weird dichotomy where there's always an insurmountable sort of gap, where even if I'm simply responding to what I believe you want, I'm watching you, I'm watching how you move, the things you like, the things you celebrate, the things you shy away from, and I'm trying to sort of change my actions and gear towards those things. There's never really an admittance to say, oh yeah, no, that's correct. There's almost sometimes like a shame of being understood, of someone calling out your behavior. So until we can have an honest, actual conversation, and I mean conversation, not where you have this assumption that I should just know. No, I'm going to treat you like an adult. And when we have this conversation, we can now actually learn stuff about one another. You want this vulnerability, you have to now be proven to be someone that is trustworthy. I don't think we foster those sort of lines of communication today. That's why men often will look to other men to say, okay, I understand that even if I'm sharing this vulnerability, right? And my best friend and I, we did a live a couple of nights ago, a fireside chat, where we kind of expressed some of these things, where we talked just as we normally do as men. Try not to miss the next live when we do something like that. But it was to give an example of this is how men talk. This is how men communicate, that it does happen. The fact that it looks differently, this is how it happens. When you trust implicitly that person you're talking to isn't trying to defeat you in an argument, isn't emotionally riled up to now just say something for the sake of saying something. I'm not simply trying to win. I often say this, could you imagine you're talking about your significant other and you're trying to defeat them? No. So when men deal with this and they put all of that aside, they've This is the process. They've been evaluating you. They've been watching the way you speak, the way you communicate, especially when things get riled up, when things get heated. They're looking, they're testing, they're retesting, they're checking their findings against the actual data, and they're saying, oh wow. Through time, through different scenarios and situations, they learn, oh, yeah, I can. You are trustworthy. You're not just in it for you. You're not just in it for when you feel good. That's when you kick up. That's when you invest in this. No, you're in it for the long haul. I think you have my best interest at heart. I believe you. That's when they're open to talking with you, to asking you for help, telling you what they struggle with, telling you about the things that maybe they have trouble dealing with in the past. This is a very privileged, earned position to make it seem as if, no, this just means he doesn't care about you. Being seen as vulnerable to someone that's a sign of safety. That's a sign of trust, the utmost trust. Her advice right here couldn't be further from the truth. Right? This is what makes it so dangerous. This is when you peddle this sort of information out as the bedrock of understanding of men. No, this has been in your scenarios, in your situations. If you're around those type of men that whatever happens in your relationship, you can reduce it into something as simplistic as that, means that you've got a lot of growing to do. You could be with someone that's great, that's good, and they ask you for help, and the relationship ends for a plethora of different reasons. That doesn't mean it ended because he opened up to you, because he doesn't want to seem vulnerable. So who are men supposed to be vulnerable with outside of the other men, right? Because what you'll start calling those men that all are vulnerable with them. If we can't do that with you, then what do you think is supposed to happen? And if we can't do that with you, and this is the real thing, this is the kicker, this is the important thing. If we can't be vulnerable with you, our significant other, our girlfriend, our wife, there's always going to be a cap on our relationship. There's only be so much love that you'll see expressed from me. There's a large part of that men hold back, intrinsically, on purpose, subconsciously, unconsciously, whichever way you want to put it. When I can't trust you in that sense. Sure, I can trust you to look out for the house, look out for your best interests, look out for the kids, but I can't trust you with what's going on inside. Then we're never really going to have that type of relationship. That quintessential epitome, that thing that'll make you stay in this thing for long term. No, we're always thinking, cool, I can say this, and that. I better cut it here. I've been victim of that. I've done that, right? When I see that you're upset, I'll give you some asinine thing that's not really important to me. And then the next time we're in an argument, I've seen it thrown back in my face. But it has no sting. It has no value because I never cared about that. But I've seen the sort of character that you exhibited. So now I know this thing is on dying legs, right? And I'm gonna spare us both the awkward. I'm gonna spare us both. I'll just leave it. Just leave it. This is what happens when we don't have that real level of vulnerability and trust. We make it seem like it's a male issue. They have to do it. They have to fix it. We never say, well, why don't I have a home that is safe? And I don't mean the physical dwelling. I mean you. Why don't I have that? Why don't I feel that? It's not because in the moment you aren't a good vessel for that vulnerability. It's just I see what happens when you get upset. There's no limit to your wrath. There's no limit to trying to win the argument. This has been a very real, regular experience for a lot of men. If you disagree or you got something to add, let me know down in the comments. If you see other videos on your screen, take a look at those. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, listen to sound my voice now. You have not subscribed. I think you should. We're trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.